Let's be real, Bitcoin's weekly candle looks absolutely horrible. In the past, when we got similar weekly candles, further downside was to come. In today's video, we'll be talking about this, going over the most recent Bitcoin price action, and discussing what could be next for Bitcoin ahead of this week's inflation data. If you enjoy the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. All I can really say is there's no reason to believe that this time is different. Some of you have been getting frustrated with me being bearish on Bitcoin, but look at the price action. It's almost like the market makers are making fun of us and we live in a simulation. Take a look at this previous price action and tell me it is not exactly the same. All-time high dump, consolidation in a bear flag, dump further, bit of relief, dump further. All-time high dump, consolidation in a bear flag, dump further, little bit of relief, dump further. That's what I think we're seeing with Bitcoin. And if you don't believe me, well, I've been shorting Bitcoin. As we've discussed in my previous videos, looking for a short entry right around $74,000 made so much sense. And you can see right now I'm currently up just over $117,000 on this trade. But that's not the first time I shorted Bitcoin. If you're new to the channel, same exact scenario at around $97,000, and I'm still holding on to this short after profiting just over 300K. So what is next for Bitcoin? Well, you can see that from a weekly time frame perspective, this is not pretty. Look at the sweep. Every single time that Bitcoin gets a sweep like this, we typically get further downside. Take a look at what happened last time Bitcoin got a weekly sweep like we're seeing right now. We got this range, Bitcoin pumped outside of the range and then got acceptance back in the range on that weekly candle close, and further downside was to come. What we're seeing right now, I believe, is exactly the same thing. Bitcoin had a big move down all the way to sub $60,000. Then we got some relief, which this is no joke for a relief rally in a bear market, from the low all the way up to the high, a 23% pump, and now Bitcoin is looking very, very bearish. Don't argue with the charts. This looks like a classic weekly sweep before Bitcoin could potentially go lower. Now, are there scenarios where Bitcoin could get another move up before moving lower? Of course there are. However, on most occasions when we get such an aggressive sweep like we're seeing this week, well, further downside is to come. Take a look at this. We got a nice weekly sweep, further downside was to come. A nice weekly sweep, further downside was to come. Doesn't mean we can't get another little move up, but I'm just playing the charts that are right in front of me. It looks too similar to 2022, and the market makers are toying with us at this point. That's why I went short just below $74,000, because it was the perfect relief pump to go aggressively short. And at this point in time, you can see that we're benefiting from this. Legends, if you want to see how I am personally trading the market, as always, you do have the first link in the description down below. DM me the keyword CBM on Telegram to join my private group. The only requirement is that you've signed up with one of my affiliate exchange links and you start trading on there as you'd normally do. You are using your own capital to trade, and this group is basically all of my own personal trades and my overall market updates. I don't take that many trades, but when I see fantastic opportunities, like when Bitcoin got a massive relief rally up to $74,000, I pull the trigger with my own capital. Same exact scenario when Bitcoin hit $97,000, and we've been having a lot of success lately shorting Bitcoin in a bear market. So what is next for Bitcoin here? We have the weekly sweep. It's basically locked in. The weekly candle will close in approximately 6 hours from the time I'm posting this video. So unless we get some kind of big move to the upside, it will not be looking good for Bitcoin. You can see that we got acceptance back into the existing range. Then we got acceptance below the point of control. You do not want to see this if you are bullish on Bitcoin on the lower time frames. Take a look at this. We managed to drop below it after trying to hold it as support. Then we actually got that acceptance below, a big move to the downside, and another big wick to the upside, ultimately still getting rejected from the point of control. If that's not enough proof for you, I don't know what is. Now, I read some of the comments the other day saying, all right, I'm just going to go max short now. Guys, Bitcoin is already down over 10% from my short entry. I'm never going to tell you exactly what to do, but I'm sharing with you how I am personally operating in this market. As always, when everyone gets excited on a relief rally in a bear market, I come out, post a video saying, guys, I'm shorting Bitcoin. And this is exactly what I did once more. So I do think further downside is to come for Bitcoin. The real question is, how much lower can we actually go? Because if for whatever reason Bitcoin drops aggressively much further, that could actually move the cycle forward in some capacity, meaning that perhaps we bottom out a little bit earlier than in most bear market years. Usually it takes about 12 months from the bull market top to the bear market bottom. But if Bitcoin gets another aggressive move down here, it could signal that the bottom is closer than most people would be ready for. So keep your eyes on this. I'll make sure to keep you updated as the price action develops when I decide to DCA back into Bitcoin. But right now, legends, I am more than happy to just trade the market that is right in front of me. How many times have you heard me say this? So let's take a look at the Bitcoin exchange liquidation map. On this Sunday, right as we're getting this weekly sweep, classic weekly sweep, a lot of people are still going long in this market. On the 30-day time frame, there's about the same amount of cumulative long and cumulative short liquidation leverage in this market. In a bear market, it is much easier to get away with shorting Bitcoin, which is what I've been trying to teach you guys on the channel. Believe me, when the bull market comes back around, and yes, I do think that it will come back around and people will not expect it, I will be unbearably bullish, and you guys will get sick and tired of me being bullish. But for now, it is still a bear market, and therefore we have to trade it as such, looking for opportunities to enter swing shorts when we get those relief rallies. Otherwise, I just sit on my hands as I have pretty massive positions now benefiting from Bitcoin's downside. Let's see how the stock market opens, because we discussed the fact that if we are to get weekly candle closes below the bull market support band here, which we technically did, well, it could signal further drawdown for stocks, especially with all of these geopolitical tensions. If we can manage to reclaim the bull market support band, then perhaps Bitcoin has one more go at sweeping the highs, but we'll have to see. Right now, I'm happy to just sit on my hands. My trades are open, and I am ready to accumulate lower. Last time, the stock market dropped below its bull market support band and confirmed there, we got significant drawdown, and this should be no different this time around, in my opinion, of course. Next thing I wanted to bring to your attention, we know that the non-farm payrolls came in much lower than expected. The consensus was just under 60,000 jobs added to the US economy. Meanwhile, we had negative 92,000, which I covered in my previous video and on the live stream. This week, however, we're going to see how the stock market and of course the oil futures open, but we also have very critical inflation data. If inflation comes in hotter than expected, you can say goodbye and we will be moving much lower, in my opinion, of course. I'm just trading the market that's right in front of me, and the probabilities do favor that Bitcoin will likely be headed lower over the course of this year. So along with the inflation data on Wednesday, Friday will be a massive day with the US Q4 2025 GDP data, the January PCE inflation data, and the January JOLTS job opening data, all on Friday, so we may do a live stream. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you want me to go live on Friday, where I will be covering all of these topics and of course the Bitcoin price action. And that sums up today's quick update. Bitcoin got the weekly sweep outside of its range and acceptance back within the range, and the green weekly candle is almost turning red. Usually when this happens, Bitcoin does see further downside. Don't argue with me, argue with the charts. If you enjoy the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. As always, I have my bluff and leverage trading tutorial right here, and I'll see you in the next video.